Thank you for joining us for another exciting show, the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We are here today with one of our favorite guests, absolutely, and one of the number one real estate agents in all of California, number one in Santa Clarita, Neil Weichel with RE/MAX of Valencia, a good friend of ours, and always informed and educated on what's going on in the market. And he was nice enough to join us today and share with us some unique opportunities in the market, as well as what's really happening in the market. And no one knows better than you, Neil. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Don. Glad to be here.
So we promised everybody that we're going to touch on a topic that you blogged on your website, which is neilweichel.com.
Yep.
Pretty easy. Weichel is in Weichel. Neil Weichel got great information on that, by the way, Neil.
Thank you.
I mean, all kinds. If you want to learn what's going on in the real estate market, his site has it. It talks about his team as well, an incredible team that you have, and always the best. We know how important it is to have a great team. Plus, we love Neil because he's UCLA grad.
Thank you.
Go Bruins.
Good stuff. I like that. I'll support that.
No doubt. And he wrote a great blog that we wanted to share because Neil always looks at things a little differently with all of his experience. And he has found something that's probably never happened in I don't know, you can clarify this better than I can, but I don't think this has ever happened since I've been in the industry, this unique opportunity for the double move, as you put it. Your neighbors why your neighbors making a double move?
Well, I try to come up with these catchy, titles. I don't know that I always succeed, but yeah,
it worked for me.
Well, okay. So here's what's happening in the market, and I don't believe, Don, that I've ever seen it either. At least not the way we're seeing it now. So. Just a quick snapshot of where we've been. So if you think about 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, markets going down, prices are going down, and for the most part, we have plenty of sellers and not enough buyers. And many of the would-be sellers thought, I'm not going to put my home on the market. I mean, it's just going to sit there, or I can't get the price I want. Okay, we'd all agree with that, right?
Yep,
100%.
All right. So starting in 2011, we started to see the inventory really start to go down. But, the market was still definitely a buyer's market. But then this year happened, and as we discussed before, nobody could have predicted this year would happen. We are very, very low in inventory, and in fact, we're back to a situation where you have lots of buyers and not enough sellers. Now, here's what's happening that's unique. We have, in many popular neighborhoods in this valley, short sale properties, okay? Not really foreclosure properties, but more the short sale properties, which are properties that are not yet owned by the bank but are in distress. And they're consistently selling for anywhere from 10 to 20% below what the quote-unquote standard or regular sales are selling for. And there's some reasons for that, but it's clearly happening. And so what this means is that now that the market has changed, and thanks to, really low interest rates, as you guys know.
It's all because of us.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you did that. So everybody in America thanks you for 3.25% to 3.5% interest rates. So we have kind of this perfect storm of interesting things that are happening. Now, in my business, I've done this 21 years. I've always worked a lot with the move-up buyer. Okay, and I've pretty much built my career on the move-up buyer. That was somebody selling the condo, buying the 3-bedroom, selling the 3-bedroom, buying the 4-bedroom, selling the 4-bedroom, buying the executive home. Okay, and that's always fueled Santa Clarita real estate. Always. Okay, that's why all these nice homes were built, and we were happy to sell them. Now, here's what's happening right now. We have people that now have the confidence, sellers that now have the confidence to move. They love the cheap money, they love the low interest rates, and they're seeing the opportunity to move up, maybe get another 1,000 square feet, maybe get a bigger yard, maybe get a better school, maybe get the pool, maybe get all of those things, right?
Right.
And do that without going up a lot in price. And here's how they're doing it. They're identifying the short sale property, maybe the property that was selling for $700,000 a few years ago, that today is maybe $475 or $500.
And this is realistic.
Oh, I've done
Absolutely.
this. This is, a recent closing for me. And they've got the nice little home, the little 3 or 4 bedroom that is a regular sale, okay? It's not a short sale. So what they're going to do is they're going to sell at retail, okay, and buy at wholesale. In other words, they're going to sell at top dollar, which I'm going to help them do, okay, market value, top dollar. But then they're going to go through the aggravation and the hassle of going out and attempting to buy a short sale that might be 15 to 20% under market, okay, depending on the neighborhood they're looking at. And maybe it's only 10% under market. But here's what's happening. They're selling their home at market value with, let's say, a 5% interest rate or 5.5% or maybe even higher. And then they're doing a double move. They're selling that home to become non-contingent. They're putting that money in the bank so that they're ready to go. You guys are getting them pre-approved. They know exactly what they can qualify for. They know exactly what their new payment's going to be. And off they go with me or whoever their real estate agent is to make offers on short sales and try to buy a nice property that represents a move up. And I'm seeing all kinds of situations this year, guys, where they are buying a home, let's say 10, 15, 20% under what normal market value might be, selling their home at let's say regular market. They're getting a lower interest rate, they're getting a better house, and their house payment is going up a few $100s. I had a situation recently where they got a larger home and their payment actually went down about $90 a month. So there's this opportunity to take advantage of this fractured market, okay, this split market. And as we talked about, it's only going to be there for a little while longer. This amount of short sales that we're getting through the system, and we're in the process of doing that, right? We've been doing it for about 4.5 years now, is not going to be there forever. In fact, I'm hopeful that it gets out of here sooner rather than later, because that's when stability will occur and transparency in the market will be more clear. But the bottom line is, for right now, if you want to sell a home and buy another, there's never been an opportunity like this. And that's not hype. That's fact.
I hope you were listening to that. I was.
Yeah,
I know Gino
absolutely.
was. This is very astute, very clairvoyant for me, because listening to this opportunity is enlightening for a lot of people, because our industry's been troubled for 5-6 years now. To have these incredible opportunities is exciting. You have brought into light how people can basically take advantage of the market, sell their home at top dollar, and still be able to buy a home under value per se. And that's I've never seen that before. And I hope you're listening, because just in case you tuned in, we're with Neil Weichel of RE/MAX of Valencia, 21 years in the industry right here in Santa Clarita, one of the top real estate professionals in all of California and the nation for that matter, sharing with us unique tips and ideas that I'm hoping you're listening to.
You know, what was really interesting to me, Neil, when I was listening to that is that, some people think it's a hassle, right? Why would I do that? Gosh, I don't want to move out. Where am I going to stay? Am I going to rent a hotel? Am I going to, it sounds like a hassle, but I'm thinking about 10 to 20%. If you're doing that on $500,000 homes, what other opportunity do you have to make $100,000 like that, 30, 40, 50 days?
Well, and what's interesting about it, Gino, is first of all, it is a hassle. Okay, when I sit down with somebody, I let them know in no uncertain terms, you may have to be in a rental property for 2, 3, 4 months, because short sales are moving targets. We do not know when they're going to get approved, and when they get approved, you got to be ready to move. Okay,
right.
You got to be ready to act. But the reality is if you think about it big picture, many of the people out here are families, right? If you're going to get your 2 or 3 children family from the 3-bedroom to the 5-bedroom, and you guys are going to be set there for the next 10, 12, 15 years, I mean, a couple of months of aggravation or a couple of months of double move. We have lots of service providers that'll put your stuff in storage and move just what you need, for that short period of time. I mean, there's all different kinds of things that we can do to help you in this process. It's just a matter of, do you want to go through the process? And by the way, it probably shows that I'm getting older. A lot of my clients aren't just selling and buying a larger home. Some of them are selling and buying a smaller home.
Right.
And we're selling their home for top dollar, and then they're going to stay with family, or, they're going to their own rental property, or they're going to the hotel, or they're going to a rental house that we set them up in, and then they're really taking advantage of, what do we want to buy next? Okay, we want the single story. Okay, we want the smaller home, whatever it is. Then they're going to get a loan with you guys at a ridiculously low interest rate, and they're taking their house payment maybe in half, or maybe even more. So there's all kinds of benefit, but in all honesty, it has to be properly discussed, and you have to be willing up front to know that there's going to be some aggravation. You're trading money for convenience, plain and simple.
100%.
Yeah.
That was the ticket right there. It's money for convenience. And, you're talking about the opportunity was move up, and now you have the opportunity for move down. And sometimes you can move sideways. If you can't get out of your high interest loan, but you can get into a new one if you move out of the old house, if you had a little bit of equity, but maybe you didn't qualify. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunity in the strategy. And I want you to all know that this is a strategy, a unique strategy to help you win in every market. Like Don and I always want to help you on the road to personal and financial wellness. That's really what the focus of our show is. And I think this is a great tip to do that.
And the other focus is always work with a true professional that actually knows what he's doing to help you take advantage of this market. And Neil Weichel with RE/MAX is one of those. We're gonna be back with Neil Weichel and some other great facts and what's happening, what to expect, I should say, in 2013. On top of it, we have Mark Thompson, formerly with the Mark and Brian Morning Show, coming back to share with us what is he up to since he's left the Mark and Brian Show. When we come back, for the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KH.